Imagine you're at the helm of a thriving business. A decision looms ahead, one that could propel your company to new heights. But at what cost? Would you compromise your ethics for the sake of profit? Welcome to the intricate world of business decision-making, a world where ethics and profit often find themselves on opposing sides. In this realm, every decision, every move can have far-reaching consequences. It's a high-stakes game of chess, where your next move could either secure your king or topple your empire. The importance of ethical considerations in business cannot be overstated. They form the bedrock of your company's integrity and sustainability. They're the invisible threads that weave the fabric of your corporate culture, setting the tone for all your interactions with your employees, your customers, your stakeholders, and the world at large. The ethical compass of a business leader can shape the destiny of their enterprise. Remember, when it comes to business, the ends don't always justify the means. Let's delve into the first three key ethical considerations: transparency, accountability, and fairness. Transparency is the cornerstone of ethical business practice. It means being open and honest about your actions, decisions, and plans. Imagine you're running a company that's facing a difficult financial period. Rather than hiding the situation, you choose to share it with your team, explaining the challenges and your proposed solutions. This openness not only eases employee anxiety, but also promotes a culture of trust and inclusivity. Next, we have accountability. This principle involves taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, particularly when things go wrong. Let's consider a scenario where a project fails due to a decision you made. Rather than deflecting the blame, you accept responsibility, analyze what went wrong, and work on strategies to avoid a similar occurrence in the future. Accountability, thus, fosters a culture of learning and continuous improvement. Finally, we come to fairness. This principle revolves around treating everyone equally and making decisions that are just and unbiased. Imagine you're in a position to promote one of your team members. Rather than allowing personal preferences to influence your decision, you base your choice on merit, performance, and potential. This act of fairness not only motivates your team, but also ensures that talent is rewarded appropriately. In the complex world of business, these three principles, transparency, accountability, and fairness, act as guiding lights. They help you navigate tricky situations, make sound decisions, and build a strong ethical foundation for your organization. They ensure that your actions are not merely beneficial for the short term, but also contribute to long-term sustainability. Remember, ethical leadership isn't about perfection. It's about striving to do the right thing, even when it's hard. It's about being a role model for your team and setting a positive example. Incorporating these principles into your decision-making process can foster trust and loyalty among your stakeholders. Moving on, we explore respect, integrity, and courage as the next set of ethical considerations. Let's dive right in with respect. In the complex world of business, respect is more than just a nice-to-have. It's an essential component of ethical leadership. It's about acknowledging the worth of each individual and valuing their input, regardless of their position in the hierarchy. It's the kind of respect that sees a janitor and a CEO as equally valuable contributors to the organization. Now let's turn our attention to integrity. This is the cornerstone of trust in any relationship, and in business it's no different. Integrity means doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. It's about being honest, transparent, and accountable in all dealings. It's the difference between a business that's here today and gone tomorrow, and a business that stands the test of time. Think of the long-standing businesses you admire. Chances are they're steeped in integrity. Finally, we come to courage. In the face of tough decisions, ethical leaders need courage. It's the courage to stand up for what's right, even when it's easier to go with the flow. It's the courage to take risks, to innovate, and to challenge the status quo. It's the courage to admit mistakes and learn from them rather than covering them up. In essence, courage in business is about daring to do things differently for the greater good. So, there you have it. Respect, integrity, and courage. These aren't just lofty ideals, they're practical, actionable principles that can guide your decision-making in business. They're the keys to building not just a successful business, but a respected and trusted one. These principles guide leaders to make decisions that uphold the dignity and worth of all stakeholders. Lastly, we examine long-term sustainability, emotional intelligence, and the greater good. These three considerations are the final pieces of our ethical leadership puzzle. Starting with long-term sustainability. It's not just about surviving the next fiscal year, it's about thriving in the long run. This means considering the impact of your decisions, not just on your bottom line, but also on the environment, your employees, and the community. It's about building a business that can stand the test of time, weathering the storm of economic downturns and societal changes. Next, we turn our attention to emotional intelligence. This is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of the people around you. It's about being aware of how your decisions affect others and being willing to listen and respond to their concerns. In the world of business, emotional intelligence can often be the difference between a leader who is respected and one who is merely tolerated. It's a quality that allows leaders to build strong relationships, foster trust, and inspire loyalty. Lastly, but certainly not least, we consider the greater good. This is the idea that your business decisions should not only benefit your company but also contribute positively to society as a whole. It's about recognizing that your business is part of a larger ecosystem, and that your success should not come at the expense of others. It's about striving to make a positive impact in the world, whether that's through charitable initiatives, environmentally friendly practices, or simply treating your employees with kindness and respect. In conclusion, long-term sustainability, emotional intelligence, and the greater good are not just ethical considerations. They are strategic imperatives. They are the pillars that support a successful, sustainable, and ethical business. By prioritizing these principles, you are not only ensuring the survival of your business in the long run, but you are also making a positive contribution to society. These principles not only ensure the survival of your business in the long run, but also contribute positively to society. Having explored the 9 key ethical considerations, it's time to understand how they interconnect and influence business decision-making. Let's revisit these principles quickly. Transparency, fairness, and long-term sustainability were the first 3 points we discussed. Transparency helps to build trust within your team and with your stakeholders. Fairness ensures that everyone involved in your business feels valued and treated equitably. Long-term sustainability, on the other hand, is about making decisions that not only benefit your business now, but also secure its future. The next 3 considerations were about respect, accountability, and compassion. Respect for all individuals, regardless of their role, contributes to a positive work environment. Accountability is about taking responsibility for your actions and decisions. Compassion, meanwhile, is about understanding and empathizing with other situations. Lastly, we touched upon the principles of humility, courage, and integrity. Humility is about recognizing that you don't have all the answers and being open to learning from others. Courage is about standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. Integrity, finally, is about aligning your actions with your words and values. Each of these principles is a piece of the ethical decision-making puzzle. Individually, they are important, but when you combine them, they form a powerful framework that can guide you through the complex world of business. Implementing these ethical considerations in your decision-making process can lead to positive outcomes. It can improve your team's morale, increase trust with your stakeholders, and ultimately lead to more sustainable and successful business operations. But it's essential to remember that these principles are not just checkboxes to tick off. They should be ingrained in your business's culture, influencing every decision you make and every action you take. Remember, ethical decision-making is not just about doing what's right. It's about fostering a culture of integrity that resonates with your team and your customers alike. As a business leader, your decisions shape not just your company's future, but also the lives of your employees, customers, and the society at large. Your choices reverberate, impacting more than just profit margins. They mold corporate culture, set industry trends, and influence societal norms. Consider this an invitation to apply the 9 ethical considerations we've discussed in every business decision you make. Transparency, fairness, and long-term sustainability aren't just buzzwords. They're the pillars upon which ethical leadership rests. When you choose to lead with integrity, you're choosing to prioritize people over profits, sustainability over short-sighted gains, and truth over deception. You're choosing to navigate the often murky waters of business with a clear conscience and a steadfast moral compass. In the complex world of business, let your ethical compass guide you to success. After all, the best measure of success is not just profit, but the positive impact you create.